It's just like this feeling is like you're hungry, you want more, and then it's done and it's over with. And it's like, can I listen some more? You just want to listen, to the truth, because after a while, when your eyes just start opening up. My name is Cynthia Guevara, and I was born in Ventura County, raised in Oxnard, California. My mom brought me up to be very independent. My mom was a single parent, family of 3. I was taught at a very young age to raise my brother that was special needs. My mom had to go to work, and that left me to care for him. We would go to church, on a Sabbath, part of being a 7-day Adventist. When I reached the age of 13, I started taking their Bible doctrines that they offered through the 7-day Adventist Church. And there was a series of also doctrines that I had to take. That's when I started asking a lot of questions. So at 13, I got baptized. And then as you become a teenager and all that, other things in my life happened that I kind of felt apart from the church. So I wasn't interested anymore or anything. 13 started working, summer programs in school, started working. And then from the following year, I worked as a secretary and helping the counselors recruit people to work and help them in the office. So that's how I started getting my administrative background. Life took a turn because being a freshman in high school, got a boyfriend at a very young age and had my son at 15. It was rough, but it wasn't about me anymore. It was about that child. It came to a point in my life and my kids were growing up. I felt that at the time they didn't know anything about God. And I started feeling a little bit guilty that I didn't bring them up in the church like I was brought up in the 7-day Adventist. Even though we disciplined little mouthy here and there, I said I need to go back to church, go back to my roots and show my kids, who is God, who is Christ. So I started taking them to the 7-day Adventist. Around that time, I was looking at Facebook and found one of my best friends, Regina Neri, and it was they were my best friends that I grew up with since childhood. And then we had a little gathering. We went to go eat dinner, and so it was nice to catch up with them again. And around that time, it was an invitation. So when she invited me, the next day was Sunday if I wanted to go to church. So I was like, okay, I accepted her invitation. And then that Sunday, which was the next day, I ended up going. And that was my first experience ever going to the Church of Christ. You walk up to the door, they greet you. As soon as you walk in, your experience is like, wow, the men sit to the left, women sit to the right. The thing that dawned on me was that it was straight from the Bible. Straight, no opinion, no testimony, just straight on Bible question and answer. And that's what, drawed myself to. That was very different than what I was raised to when I went to church. At that time, Brother Eric Waterman gave me a call. He introduced himself. He said, my name is Eric Waterman. I'm the resident minister in Victorville, and I'm inviting you to come to our worship service. He gave me the day and times at the time, and he also said that they had Bible studies. At that time, I said, I need to go to this. I really need to go and listen more. I need to take my family and then go to this Bible study. Bible study was done. My son got up and looked at me straight in the eye and said, Mom, I understood it. I got it. It was very clear. And I just looked at him and I said to him, I understood it too, son. I did. It was very clear. It's just like this feeling is like you're hungry, you want more, and then it's done and it's over with. And it's like, can I listen some more? You just want to listen, to the truth, because after a while, when your eyes just start opening up. But the amazing part of that is just you can have millions of questions, and the minister will not preach based on his testimony or his opinion. He gets the Bible, and it's answered. When he gave me that lesson about the 7-day Adventists that I was following, and boy, was I wrong, because in the Bible, God does not give permission for a woman to preach. The main pastor at the time that I was going in the Seventh-day Adventist was a woman. And when he gave me that lesson, I just cried. I cried and cried because you're just deceived and your eyes open. And it was a hard lesson. So growing up in the wrong, but you're in the truth, it's hard. It's hard. Born and raised and baptized to something that wasn't in the truth. So your eyes open. Before that, my husband was teasing me. Not like a tease. He said, where is it going to be? Is it going to be the Seventh-day Adventist church? Because you keep going there and then you keep going to the Church of Christ. And then at the time, because it was still in the early stage and all that. And I was like, well, I guess it seems more that I'm going to stay with the Church of Christ. So true that says, your own family, your friends, especially your loved ones, your immediate family are the ones that are going to be against you, the tribulations and everything. And that happened with my mom. My mom was a diehard Seventh-day Adventist person. So when I was starting listening to more, I started sharing my faith with my mom. And I said, Mom, you need to listen. You need to come to a Bible study and listen to the Church of Christ because it's in truth. It's not what you think. So my mom got offended and she looked at me and said, who are you to tell me that I'm your mom and I raised you to tell me that I'm not in the truth? So at the time, my stepdad, would say, just let her be, let her be. So life goes on. It took my stepdad to die, get into a bad car accident for my mom to open up her eyes. And that happened around that time when I was seeking the church. And it was just, upsetting and sad. And then I said, Mom, you need God in your life. You need God. You need to come and listen. So she made the decision to come out and stay with me. And then she started taking the Bible doctrines. It's been a blessing, to see that. And to see my mom also as well that got baptized and became a member. I wholeheartedly believe the Bible as an instructional book that God left behind for a reason. And it's not easy, it's not. I have prayed with wholeheartedly with my heart. There's been rough times because, life's not easy. To this day, He has blessed me abundantly. For me and my family, there's actually 7 of us, and we're all Church of Christ member. The best thing is, to continue serving God 100%. 100%. He will guide you and protect you. I pray every day, walk ahead of me, have my back, help me put on my armor, my shield. And He does every day and takes care of me and my family. And I've always taught my kids to this day, you need to have a relationship with God. Because if you don't pray and you don't have a relationship, then how do you expect for God to give you the blessings? So one of my prayers was going back to work. That was very important for me to go back to work. I was home for 12 years raising my kids. At the type of the job that I do is I work for a federal prison. So I was going as an officer and I got interviewed for an officer. So it was leaning more towards the officer. And also I got interviewed to be a unit secretary, which was my old job, but it was leaning more towards the officer. At the time, they had announced that for the new incoming officers were 12-hour shifts. I started doing devotional prayers and I started praying and I started saying, God, I don't know how we're going to do. My husband works these 12 hours or is going to. He's an officer. He's a lieutenant. And I'm coming in as an officer as well. I don't know what's going to happen with our kids. They can't stay home by themselves. And I got called into the office of HR and they sat me down and they said, Ms. Guevara, if you want the secretary job, you can have it. But you're going to lose your grade. And I looked at her dead in the eye and I said, you know what? It's not about the money, it's about the schedule, and it's about my kids. I will gratefully take it. So I was blessed. He answered my prayer. God is everything to me. Everything.